It's a whole lot of fun with jokes and recaps. Once the match is done, from the field to the office, we're ready to go on the One Star Post Game Show.
All right, it's the One Star Cowboys podcast post game show, Cowboys and Eagles. I'm Kevin Turner from home. Kent Garrison's at home, and from the still standing AT&T Stadium, it's Jon Machota and Saad Youssef. Guys, in the very important cinema classic Billy Madison, there's a scene where Billy and his friends are burning dog poo on the porch of a neighbor who he didn't really like. And the guy goes to put out the fire and he yells, call the fire department. This thing's getting out of control. And that's how I see the Cowboys season. Jon, your thoughts?
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. But I think we should start off with all the positives in the game, because there were a lot of big positives I think we need to focus on here. Let's start with
George W. Bush was in the house.
George Bush was in the house.
Presidents wanting to come to games.
They brought out the really big American flag. That was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me think. DeMarvion Overshone. He continues to look like a player that'd be pretty good in the future. No, that's about it. Yeah, it's bad, man.
Well,
It's
no,
bad.
and also the Commanders lost, so it keeps the division a little bit tighter. You know, it's right there for the
That's
Cowboys.
true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, it's bad, and it's even worse the fact that you just think about how many more of these they have that we have to sit through and watch, and knowing that it's not going to get any better. So, sure, if you guys want to break down individual series or plays and individual players and how they played, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I honestly think it's even worse than the final score. Also, by the way, did anybody hit that final score?
No one. We had a close one, though. We had a couple close ones. We had, I think we had 34-9.
Ooh.
So we escaped again.
Whoa. Nice. So we were big winners.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's amazing that the Sun is a story, and I think it's a story because it would have been, and maybe it doesn't matter if the game's out of control at the time. The game was close.
It's a story because Jerry wanted to be a story, and he has openly said that he'll stir it up when he needs to. And I thought that was a little bit of him doing that today.
Distraction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the way that the comment came about. Jon and I were talking about this after we got done with the press conference, everything, because he and I both went to Jerry and stuck with him throughout. And when Jerry got done with his initial availability in front of the locker room, he walked away and unprompted turned around and made the comment of like, by the way, this. So like he was not asked about the Sun at any point, because I think for all of us, we're just like thinking there's a lot bigger fish to fry, bigger problems. So I guess and by the way, for a lot of people on like Twitter and things like that, he's been asked about, I've been around the team and I've been around Jerry post-game press conferences since 2015. He has to have been asked about the curtains and this stuff at least 10 times over the last 10 years, like maybe half a dozen times or something like that. So, it's old news, but like, yeah, he was walking away, turned around, made the comment, then talked about it for, I would say about 30, 40 seconds when he made the comments about, well, just build a new stadium. So yeah, to Jon's point, it was very much because Jerry wanted it out there.
Well, but also we needed to hold him accountable.
Yeah.
We're not holding him accountable, which is leading to him doing whatever he wants, which leads to him putting a poor product on the field. So that's why I was glad that when he said, I couldn't understand exactly what he was talking about, but there was a follow-up question and saying, well, why don't you just put up the curtains? So I was really proud of the media contingent that was around him, because they were holding Jerry accountable. And so Jerry, he went down this different path of talking about why it's, we always know where the Sun's going to be and all this other stuff. But it is just funny to think, like, I've been to multiple events here when the curtains have been up. They have them up for concerts. They have them up for, NCAA tournament basketball games. So it's not like it's even this thing where it's like, well, will you buy these things or have them made? Like, they have them. He clearly just likes the way the stadium looks with the sun coming in. And I understand it sounds stupid, but I'm telling you, that's the reason why. He likes the way it looks. And the thing I always point back to is, I can't remember the name of the documentary. I'm sure Saad does, but that whatever part series they did on Tom Brady, like, what was it?
Man
was
in
it
the
the
Arena.
arena or something?
Yeah, and that
arena,
opening shot is it's not Foxborough. It's the sun coming in, and it's all this like great looking,
Was at that game, yeah.
great looking artwork.
2015, right?
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, the end zone shot.
Do you think that he's not putting up the curtains because it would admit defeat?
Oh, that's a big part of it
Not
now.
because he likes the way it looks and it's an aesthetic thing. It's because if he does, it would be saying that it's a problem.
100%.
We need to
We are absolutely in that area now. And maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, that wouldn't have been the case, but now I firmly believe that's the reason why, for sure. He also suggests that he could build a new stadium. Well, why not just build a new stadium?
Yeah.
And I live on that Frisco Plano border, so yeah, build it up that way. Something
it's
along the tollway.
It's funny that he just kind of did that on his own too. And we've talked about it for years, but CD Lamb commented on it. And
shut
that was
up
the story
about the sun
on the TV broadcast. Like, that was a story on the TV broadcast. So here's what the nation's saying. I don't know if that matters. It probably doesn't. It's all about what the players do on the field and all that stuff. Blah blah blah.
One more conspiracy though about this, KT.
Mhm.
Do you think he's trying to distract from the product on the field?
Yeah.
And that this Sun storyline is so big that Stephen A might, could talk about that instead of the game.
I think so. Because it's a part of it. It's all a part of it. It was a big story on the broadcast.
Yeah, because on that incomplete pass from Cooper Rush, CD literally goes to his eyes and says that he couldn't see it. So
which incompletion was that?
Of the mini.
Yeah, which play are we talking about? Can you take me the exact minute and distance?
We didn't have a lot of yards today. That's
the
second problem.
Yeah.
But
it is fast. It is interesting because you bring that up, because being somebody that's not from here, like when the Detroit Lions are bad, nobody talks about them at all. But when the Cowboys are bad, it's still like a whole separate storyline that you go to other websites and TV shows, and it's still one of the topics that everyone's talking about. And I'm sure tomorrow people will be talking about these stupid curtains.
Yeah, no, people are going to talk about you either way, so it might as well be about good stuff, right? Sorry, I don't know what's happening there. People are going to talk about you either way, so it's cooler if they talk about you doing good things. But look, the quarterback's hurt here, so here's what the reality is. Not that the quarterback not being hurt would have changed things. This is a bad team, and we know this.
What do you think
because
the
of
score
how
is,
they handled their business against the Giants a few weeks back? Like, we know what this team is.
What do you think the score is if he plays, KT?
Oh, Dak? Oh, yeah. I think it's 28-13. Like, there's not that big of a difference. Like, I guess that's about a 15-point swing I just threw out there, though.
It's a lot.
It's just bad. Like, having Micah back there, like, to see that energy in the first half. The thing is, I don't know. Like, if the offense does anything, the defense isn't tired, then maybe they are able to keep that game close, because it's not the Eagles came in the first half and just dominated you. Like, that's not how that game went down.
They got their first touchdown because the quarterback couldn't catch a snap in the shotgun.
God, it's a new cartoon every week, isn't it?
So I'm just like, to your point, like,
amazing.
I mean, they're down like 7-3, and I'm thinking like, and they're on the verge of scoring. Zeke fumbles, then they get back in that same area and they have to settle for a field goal. You had 2 possessions inside the 10-yard line, and you got a total of 3 points out of that. And then to your point, like, the Eagles did not look like they were doing anything to win that game. And so they score that first touchdown because Cooper Rush is in the pistol formation and couldn't catch a snap.
So what do we the Zeke fumble is pretty poetic too. Just everything.
Yeah. I play the drop at the end of the show often. We'll play a little soundbite at the end of the pod. I play the one of McCarthy often, of him saying the 3 things we need to be. This is, I believe, in training camp, like opening press conference style press conference: discipline, grit, and fundamentally sound. They are so terrible at all 3 of those things that he should not have a job next week. Like, if that's his goal, he's so bad at his job.
I'm glad you brought that up, because there's been some times over the last couple of weeks where he's pointed to us being negative in the media and talked about, like, well, and you guys, share a lot of negative things and blah, 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 blah. And he says it kind of in his own little, like, fun way, like he's joking. What positives are there to write about? Like, if you're being honest, like, you're not being some homer, but if you're being honest, okay, Brandon Aubrey, you think I'm going to write about Brandon Aubrey after one of these games? I mean, what are we doing? There's a better chance of me writing about Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
what are we doing here? There's nothing positive to sit there and be talking about. Oh, if it just this happened or just that happened, it would have been a way different game. No, that's not even. This thing was over at halftime, just like their last 5-6 home games are. It's astounding. Like, it's amazing that they fell as far as they have. since that Packers game. Crazy. If you would have told somebody that this was about to happen 15 minutes before that Packers game kicked off, nobody would have ever believed you. I don't care, the most hardcore Cowboys fan, the biggest Cowboys hater. Nobody would have ever believed you that it would have gotten this bad where they're not even, again, I could always say there's levels to this. They're not just losing these games, they're getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And by the way that they're doing that, to your point, John, if you say 15 minutes before the Packers game, that is 16 games straight that you've won at home. And since that time, they've gone 0-5, I believe. It's 0-4 this year, and then the Packers game. There's no way, even if you told someone that they lose the game against the Packers in whatever fashion, no one believes that they're going 0-4. By the way, 0-3 with your starting quarterback here at home, 0-2 with your entire team healthy, by the way. So, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's completely unpredictable.
And Jerry says he's not going to make a change, and I don't think anyone thinks a change is going to help anything really.
Are you talking about the coaches or with the
coach.
windows? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, well, both. I guess both. But there's just to give you an observation from the team.
He does also always like to say, just because I said it doesn't make it so. So, well, it sounds good right now, and he has been saying it recently. If something changed in the next month, it's Jerry Jones. It wouldn't surprise you.
No. When Mike was let go in Green Bay, it was in December. Like it was.
Yeah.
You know, they had a pretty long leash because of equity built in and all that stuff. But
who took over?
Joe Philbin.
Right.
And things did not turn around. But one thing I would say, like from the TV broadcast, there's something that Romo said that was interesting because you're going to hear this with McCarthy until the day he dies. Probably, he's a good coach. He's a good coach. He's a good. It does not matter. I'm not doing that right now. But he says Mike Zimmer and Mike McCarthy are good NFL coaches who are not getting their message across to their players. And I was like, well, does that make you a good coach? Because, Mike McCarthy being a good coach in 2013 might be different than right now. Now, he's got 3 12-win seasons with Dak to look on, and he can easily go 2 losing seasons without Dak. He can easily say all that and all this stuff. I don't really care about any of that, and I don't think any of that changes. But I do think they could be coached better because they do cartoon stuff every week. And that's not just talent. It's all of it.
And KT, to your point on that with the non-Dak years, it's kind of a cop-out in that way because they were 1-3 when Dak got hurt in 2020. So they were 1-3 with Dak. They were 3-5 with Dak. So at the end of the season, it's going to be remembered as the non-Dak year. But it was a bad team with Dak. And to Jerry's credit, I will say he was asked about if you see Dak's value or something because of how the game went today. And he very blatantly said, we were not a good team even with Dak Prescott. So that's not lost on Jerry. And I think that's something to consider as well.
Okay. Is there anything else that we should comment on? I know Overshone, I know he said he feels like he'll be fine and be back. It was interesting to see a little pass rush, a little bit of action there. And honestly, the first half, a little bit of running the ball. Again, it goes back to not fumbling a snap or not fumbling the ball at the goal line. And maybe this game is a little closer. That third quarter thing is bad too. Every third quarter, this team gets smoked. In games that look like they're close, every third quarter, this team gets destroyed.
That was the thing that Jerry had the biggest issue with outside of the questions about the Sun. He really had a big issue with because I specifically asked him, what does he think has been the difference since that Green Bay game? Why has this happened or whatever? And so he gave kind of a non-answer. He said the question you should be asking is how do we come out of this locker room after halftime and play the way that we've been playing? How does that keep happening? So that was something that he mentioned it a little bit. And so what happened is he talked outside the locker room for about 5 or 6 minutes. That ended, and then he went walking off. And then he mentioned the thing about the curtains and the sun and that. So then we kept walking with him to the elevator, and he just kept answering questions for another 6 or 7 minutes. And so he circled back around to that. So he clearly wanted to get that point out too, that I guess what I'm saying is if you were sitting up in his owner's suite during the game, I believe the thing that pissed him off the most was how they came out after halftime. And I think that that's probably been the case after several of these home games. So who's that on? Who's that on?
I don't know.
I would think it would be the head coach. I would think it'd be the head coach. Because even if you go back to his answer about the curtains, the initial thing he says when he turns around, he says, by the way, he said, "We know where the sun is going to be when we decide to flip the coin or not. We do know where the damn sun is going to be in our stadium." So when he's talking about the coin flip, again, it seems like he's trying to bring up that
We talked about
they
this
didn't
last
handle that
week.
correctly. So
Yeah.
I mean, dude, look, that's idiotic because let me just say this. When CeeDee Lamb, by the way, the ball's vastly underthrown, and I'm not sure that he could have thrown on the brakes enough to catch it. But when CeeDee Lamb is complaining that he can't see that pass, guess what the Eagles are doing when they have the ball? Staring into the sun. Jalen Hurts was blinded by the light coming through the stadium. So
great
it's
song
both
too.
ways. So don't pick a side. Don't pick a. It's not what side you're on. Both teams are having to look both ways.
And also, like, I don't know if people are new to this concept, but after the first quarter ends, you actually switch sides. And so you're
wait, start over. What happens?
It sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Also, it helps to have Saquon Barkley when you can't see. You just hand it to that guy, and that really helps.
I don't know why you guys were watching this game and not watching Travis Hunter highlights like I was.
I went to the game yesterday in Lubbock. That's why.
Oh,
so
you've already
enough Travis Hunter highlights.
You've already seen enough.
Don't tease yourself.
Where do you think you'd want to? How does he fit with this team? You like him both offense and defense, or are you just one side of the ball or the other?
You know what people say? They say he's better at this, better than that. And the NFL team's probably not going to get to decide in this day and age in an NIL world. He'll probably be like Caleb Williams, and he'll get drafted wherever his agent says he's going to get drafted, at least reasonably.
Well, he'd obviously come to the Cowboys.
No, of course he would.
Yeah,
but he's going to go to a team that's going to let him play wide receiver and corner because I think he wants to.
I tweeted about this, and one of the responses I told Saad about this. One of the responses was someone was like, "He's going to go top 3." I'm like, well, where do you think this team is going to be picking? Do you think that they're not headed for a top 5 pick? What world? What games are you watching?
This might be 2016 all over again, except we're not looking at Jared Goff and Carson Wentz.
I think he might be like top 2. I don't think the Cowboys will be a top 2. But
really, okay, we'll see.
Okay. Thanksgiving Day, a lot on the line.
Like I told Saad, this isn't one of those years where you just clearly got a team that's only going to win one game.
Oh my! All right, Jon, Saad, your hottest take, your final thought, and then we'll get out of here and catch up later in the week.
I thought I was sharing my hottest takes.
Your biggest headline. Not that you would write, just like first thing, what's the story?
How do they plan to use Travis Hunter? I mean, how would you think that this season isn't over? Like, what would make you think that it's not over?
Monday night, man, back full house, battle of the 2 Texas teams. Could be that big win that turns it all around.
Judging by that Texas team that I'm watching right now, that's not happening, and it might be worse than this game.
Todd?
Yeah. It's bad, man. I do this thing on Twitter after every game where I post a GIF from The Office, and I was just, if you go look at the last 4 that I've posted for these last 4 games, it's comical. I'll just look for, if you are a fan of The Office, it'll resonate a little bit more. But after the Lions game, I posted that scene where Michael is standing out in the office and he says, "We are screwed." And then the next week against the 49ers, it's, "Why are you the way that you are?" And then against the Falcons, it was, "I'm going through a rough patch," the whole year, actually. And then right now I posted, "Kill me right now," when Michael gets the gum in his hair.
Okay, you know what's great? I know we're about to leave, but like the next, I think 3 or 4 Cowboys games are singular. Like it's Monday night. I think it's Thursday or Sunday, and then Thanksgiving. It's 4 straight games, I believe. Or there's a few, like 4 big games coming up where the Cowboys are the primetime game or the solo window game. The exclusive Cowboys game. Does the NFL have the balls to flex them out of any of these of the Sunday night game? I'm
curious to see what the numbers are today. To be honest, like I'm always paying attention to that, but I'm genuinely curious to see like what numbers this game did today.
They're just as bad as the Giants, and they're going to play the Giants on Thanksgiving, and that's going to be one of, if not the most watched regular season games, even with both of them being awful.
Also, have you seen the Thanksgiving slate? Holy crap!
Bears, Lions,
Bears, Lions, Packers, Dolphins, and Cowboys, Giants.
How about this stat line of quarterbacks combining for 17 of 29 passing, 49 yards, one interception. That was the Cowboys.
Yeah.
2.3 yards per
The
attempt.
interception was refreshing to me because
Or
we
per
weren't
reception, sorry.
checking the ball down. We were throwing the ball like 2 yards an attempt. So the Trey Lance YOLO ball, I actually didn't mind. Can we at least try to do something? And it's so annoying. It's tough. We'll catch up later in the week. We'll have more. I'm sure Mike is going to say some stuff on his podcast too. So I don't know. But if we have anything we need to let you know about, go check out Saad and John's article over at The Athletic. And
You guys blame the red, white, and blue stripe? Fans do not like it when they wear those. Going back, it dates back to that Denver blowout loss. They have not got past that.
Did they play? I don't like this. I mean, to me, I don't care about.
Well, let's yell about things that matter, like the sun in their eyes.
Did they play Lee Greenwood in the stadium though? It's tomorrow's Veterans Day. Did they play Lee Greenwood? Proud to be an American.
I don't remember hearing it, but that does sound like something that should have been played today. But I don't remember it.
There's a stat that shows that teams lose all the time.
No. First of all, maybe when the song plays, but there was a stretch during, I don't know if it was last season or season before, where he was at 2 or 3 of the Cowboys games. It was 2 years ago. And he was at least 1 or 2 at AT&T Stadium, and he was at 1 in Minnesota, and it was like 3 of the best games the Cowboys played.
Look it up. That song for Canada too, though, right?
By the way,
before we lyrics, proud to be a Canadian. He did that.
Before we head out, I just wanted to share this quote from Micah Parsons. I don't know if you guys saw this quote when he's talking about the coaches.
Yeah.
Just he said, and again, there's context and stuff, but the quote is, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. Guys I kind of feel bad for are guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year or on their way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those types of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did.
Jesus.
That's probably going to go over well. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, the train has been off the tracks for weeks now.
He's got a podcast to record this week. Don't worry.
Because just for that, I mean, all the stuff he gives us. If last year was a boring year of Cowboy talk because there weren't that many close games, this year has paid us back tenfold because there's a never-ending treasure trove of storylines, or just disaster storylines, I guess.
Treasure trove's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, it's not a treasure trove. I guess if you're like a Cowboys fan, you're probably like, can we have something good? Yeah, he's gonna be in like, yeah, can we have something good? We can't this year. We can't. No. We'll catch up and we'll do what we do, and we'll keep talking about it later in the week. Give us a follow on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Share it online. That's great when you do that. Give us a 5-star review. That's very helpful to us. We appreciate that. For Kent Garrison, Rasad Youssef and John Machota live at AT&T Stadium. Follow their stuff over on The Athletic and on social media. I am Kevin Turner. We'll talk to you a little bit later in the week on the One Star Cowboys podcast.
Last 2 games here, we've had 5 turnovers each game. We played a team. It was a good team out there today. We got some more of them to play too. You can't win games turning the ball over 5 times. So that's what we've got.
Jerry, is this as frustrated as you've been with the team in that situation?
Well, I just am frustrated like everybody else is, but since I had a lot to do with what we're seeing, then it's the proper frustration as far as I'm concerned, that we're just not playing in a way, especially when you play a team that is the caliber of teams that we're playing out here. And Philadelphia's a high caliber team, and we're not up to them. And that's troubling. And we've got to look at all the things that have happened. But I'll just say this right now, 5 turnovers over the last 2 games. And I don't know what we're drinking in the third quarter as we come out, but it's not working.
Jerry, can you confirm that Dak will have season-ending surgery?
I won't know because we're still evaluating it.
Do you still have hope for this season that things can turn around?
Well, listen, I don't even understand not having hope. Now we've got 8 more ball games? If you'll help me with my arithmetic here, since I can't do some other things right. So bottom line is that we've got 8 ball games. That used to be 80% of a college season. That's a lot of football left. We've got a lot to work on that we can do better than that. But we were within striking distance as we came out for the third quarter, and that's very disappointing that we did all the things we did and end up with a game like that.
If Dak cannot come back, how much does that hurt your hopes for this season?
Well, I don't want to deal in hypotheticals, but anybody that loses their top quarterback has some adjustments to make, and they're usually adjusting uphill. And so I thought that basically we'd look better tonight without Dak. I thought we'd look better on offense than we looked without Dak. I've seen Cooper play better than we played tonight. Philadelphia's got a lot to do with that. That's what it is.
Jerry, what role do you feel like coaching played in these losses, and where does your confidence on the coaches stand?
Well, again, everybody's got a hand in this, and we all know that the players play the game, and we know the closest ones to them are the coaches. Closest one to them are the people that hire the coaches, and so everybody's got a role in this. Everyone does. By the way, that's no solace to have somebody step up here and say to the fans, "That's my fault. I'll take this one." What does that do? That doesn't win the ball game, and so I'm not trying to put that BS out either.
Jared, do you feel like Cooper Rush or Trey Lance? Do you feel like Trey Lance or Cooper Rush are able to turn this around, or do you feel like you have to go outside the organization at quarterback?
Well, we're going to have to play better than we're playing right now. And no, I don't know that there's answers outside the organization, but we're flat going to have to play better at all positions than we played tonight. It's good to have Parsons back. I thought he gave us a lift there, and of course he's wonderful to have on the field. But one player can't get it done.
How do you evaluate Zeke's performance?
Well, again, I don't want to single anybody out there tonight to separate anybody from the herd there tonight on how they played. I don't see that. It's not the thing to do to single out someone that might have had a rather than the rest F's and D's, somebody had a C minus. Who cares about that?
Do you think you would have been better offensively, Jerry, even without Dak?
Excuse me?
Do you think you would have been better offensively
Yes,
without Dak?
absolutely. Yes. Without Dak, I thought we would be much more, substantially better. Yes, we did. Because I don't know why we weren't, but I've seen us be better with Cooper at quarterback. And so I was looking forward to that. He brings some good stuff to the table. And now we're reminded that he didn't have as good a game his last game against Philadelphia, that when he did come back and had a good streak for us. But Philadelphia was a menace for him. But Philadelphia's a good team.
What does today's performance tell you about Dak's role in this team and what he's been doing this season?
Well, what do you mean?
Given that you saw what the team looked like without Dak, how do you tell, when you look at the difference, what do you think about Dak's role?
I don't want to be sarcastic, but you got the same arithmetic I've got? We've won 3 games with Dak. Okay, so I'm just saying we weren't playing well with Dak at all. So there's a lot to work on here, and we all are aware of that, and it's very concerning, and it should get the kind of concern that we have to give it. That's all there is to it. It's not acceptable.
What options do you think you have to change the equation?
Again, I don't know what those are. There's a lot of options. Whether or not they change the equation for the positive, that's the issue. And so there's a lot of things you can do differently, but that wouldn't necessarily bring a positive result. Thank you, guys. Thank y'all. By the way, we know where the sun's going to be when we decide to flip the coin or not. So we do know where the damn sun's going to be in our own stadium.
Why not put the curtains there? Why not mitigate that?
What?
The sun and sea.
Well, let's just tear the damn stadium down and build another one. You're kidding me.
But it's not. You don't.
Everybody's got the same thing. Every team that comes in here has the same issues. They know where the sun's going to be. So every team has the same thing.
So is it more on Mike not? understanding where the sun is and not.
I'm saying the world knows where the sun is. We get to know that almost a year in advance. So someone asked me about the sun, and what about the sun? Where's the moon? But we're fine. But everybody plays in the sun out here.
Do you still believe that you won't make a coaching change during the season?
Yes, I believe that.
You have it.
Okay, but good. But I don't believe we'll make a coaching change during the season.
What gives you the most confidence that you can get something turned around at this point? With how
Well,
bad
I've
it looks?
seen every one of these players play better. I've seen us get them ready better. I've seen us coach it up better. I've seen it. And so I'm aware of that. And that's all you got to go on when you're making a decision about the future, is what you've seen in the past. But I've seen us play better than this. And I sure as heck have seen us play better in this game than we played in the third quarter and parts of the first and second quarter. But that's just not satisfactory. There's no illusion here.
Have you ever been able to put a finger on why you think these games, particularly here, have been so lopsided since the Green Bay game?
I have not, but that's what's this first time in how many years Philadelphia's won one here?
Six, yeah.
6, okay, but I'm not loving it. They've got a good team, but absolutely no as far as what's going on. The better question is, what are we doing at the half to let the water out of the tub at the half on third quarter? That really is a puzzle.
How damaging did you think it was when you had a chance to take the lead after the turnover and you kicked a field goal and Simpson scored a touchdown?
Yeah, instead of getting the touchdown, and we had a great shot, 1st and 10, I think, on about the 5 or 6, and a great shot at it. But boy, that's how you, maybe with a little less than your opponent at this time, as a team, not having our quarterback, whatever you call it, that's how you win these kind of games, is when you get the ball on the 5 or 6 yard line, you do it. I thought we hung in there good after fumbling that ball on the second snap when we started the ball game. So I was feeling real good, frankly, as we went at the half, relative to what we are and relative to what Philadelphia is.
Jerry, you've had so many extenuating circumstances and injuries this year. How much does that factor into your evaluation of the coaching staff, Mike McCarthy in particular?
Well, I'm aware of the things that have happened to us and the degree, in my mind, how they've influenced things. And candidly, I take a lot of that in consideration when I'm looking at any individual. And coaching especially. And but there is, in my mind, a lot of accountability when the receiver is having trouble getting open, or there has to be accountability directed to somebody that other than just the player. I do that. I really do that. And by the way, it's not without other people given their input on how those players or how those coaches are coaching too. This isn't just stepping out here and me just doing it. You can imagine I've got a lot of people I counsel with.
Jerry, how much input do you offer, and who starts at quarterback between Trey and Cooper and going forward?
Well, I want to see us win the games. I want to win the game. And so I want to do the things to win the game. And so I had hoped that Cooper would, Rush could come in here and have the kind of games that he did 2 years ago. And had reason to think that, and frankly, hope that something of that nature will happen again. This is not fun. This isn't pretty. And I thought we'd do better, frankly,
Jerry,
moving the ball.
You talked before about why you don't believe in an in-season coaching change. What's the threshold at which you think it is helpful, or what would change your mind, if anything?
Okay, I'm sorry for interrupting. I changed coaches in the season with Wade, and have always regretted it. And as a matter of fact, I made a change with Chan Gailey after 2 years. I regretted that. That's not enough. You need to give yourself a chance. I've had a lot more rope than that in my time. I haven't had anybody pulling that short on me.
That Wade team was 1-7, right? I mean, when you made that change.
Well, but still, what are we? 3-6. Okay. Well, that's better. That's better math, but I sure don't sit around and say, well, now we get -2 more, and we're going to be in there. I really don't.
Yeah.
And no, I just Mike's a heck of a coach. He's a great coach in my mind, and has and should have the opportunity to do better than we're playing right now. So I'm, like I said, I haven't had good experience changing coaches in the middle of the season.
What would success look like for him over the rest of the season? Is it winning a certain number of games? Is it figuring out an offensive development? What do you want to see from Mike the rest of the season?
My criteria has always been how we're playing. Are we? Do we have an edge? Do we? Are we? Fundamentally, are we competitive? Are we competitive when we're down? Those kinds of things. Not as much, obviously, the score. What does Bill say? You are what the score tells you are, but still, you look at all of those things, and there's no fairness. Let me be real clear. Nobody's trying to be fair here. We're trying to win a game, and so those are the things I'm looking at to help be a part of decisions that could help us win a game. There's no joy here without winning games, and I'm very regretful to our fans. Very. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
At the one-star post game, it's a whole lot of fun. With jokes and recaps once the match is done. From the field to the office, we're ready to go on the one-star post game show.
Disciplined, grit, and fundamentally sound.